Does the voice ever go away? There's a question for you. A lot of people ask me, does it ever go away? And I'm 6 months in and I still get a niggle now and again, like literally, especially the last few days where I've been like not feeling great. The voice has been creeping back in and it's been like, was life really that bad? And, it'll try and trick you. It will. It'll try and catch you out because you know damn well that if you go back to that lifestyle, it's all downhill. Like there is no two ways about it, but your mind will still try and trick you. The only thing is, as you get further into recovery, it gets easier to ignore that voice. I'd like to say that and I'd like to think that when I get to like a year sober or 2 years sober, the voice will go away completely. But as an addict, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it will ever leave me. Because I do still get the voice, like I still get the voice now and again, rearing its ugly head and just saying, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a drink or whatever. And it's all romanticized in my head, that's the illness. It's never portraying the reality of what it would be like to have a relapse. It's always, glorified in my mind and making out that, it would be a nice sociable experience, or, it would be, a nice thing to do because you could do it on a sunny day and go and have a sit in a pub. And I have all these different things go through my head where it tries to get me to go back. And that's exactly what it is. It's just your brain trying to trick you, and you need to realize that. And that's what I realize now. I always think, that's the illness. That's the illness trying to suck me back in. And it does get easier to shut that up. But it does get disheartening sometimes when you think like, fuck me, I've done 6 months. Why am I still having these thoughts, when life is so good and when everything's going right? And I think it might be because the further away you get from addiction, you start to forget just how bad things were. And it's really important that you hold on to those bad memories and those bad experiences so that you don't go back. So like whenever I get a niggle in my head now, I just remind myself, I put myself straight back to where I was 6 months ago and how I felt about myself and how I felt about my life. And that quickly deters me then and makes me realize, that is just a really stupid idea. But it's crazy how your brain does try to trick you even after all this time, like it's been 6 months. I've had the best 6 months of my life, and you have a couple of down days and your brain will try and trick you into going back to that lifestyle. And it can be, obviously it can be hard because when you've done 6 months without it, you're telling yourself in a way that like, oh, you deserve it, you can reward yourself or whatever. And it's just a battle. It is a battle with your brain. But I do think that as time goes on, that battle's going to get easier and easier to fight. Like I literally now just tell the voice to fuck off, it's not always easy, but I do tell it to fuck off, and it doesn't creep up very often. It's usually if I've had a bad day or if I've had a bad week, which I have this week. But yeah, I think in time, I hope the voices will go away. But even if they don't go away, I think that in time, the longer you go, the easier it's going to be to shut that up, So don't be disheartened if you get a niggle in your head. And like, I've been the same. I've been thinking like, well, why do I feel like this after I've done 6 months? Why am I still getting these thoughts? But you're an addict at the end of the day. Your brain is always going to try and trick you back into that cycle and that way of life. And it's a forever battle, isn't it? So you need to just, as long as you know that, I think that will help. And you just need to tell the voices to fuck off. That's all you need to do. Just keep telling them to fuck off until they fuck off, and do something positive instead.